What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure discussion video. And in honor of Deadpool 2 recently coming out, I wanted to put together a quick list of 5 essential Deadpool figures that I think would be awesome for your action figure collection. Or if you're new to collecting and you just saw the Deadpool movie and you're interested in buying some action figures, hopefully this video will give you a good place to start. So this is only going to be for 6-inch scale figures. I know that Hot Toys makes a bunch of awesome Deadpool stuff, or at least a couple of awesome Deadpool movie figures, and they also have one coming out for Deadpool 2, but I don't collect Hot Toys, and I know that they're awesome and stuff, but they're just not something I collect. So this is just going to be a 6-inch scale list. So let's get right into it. So first on the list, we have the Marvel Legends Deadpool from the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure wave. And this figure is really nice. It's on the Bucky Cap body mold, so it's a body that works good for a lot of figures. I think it fits okay for Deadpool. But the thing that really separates this figure and makes it awesome is all the accessories that he comes with. He comes with a bunch of different guns, a couple katanas. He even comes with an extra head and a taco. So all that stuff is really nice, and it captures the goofy nature of Deadpool, if that's the Deadpool that you like, which I think that's the most popular version at this point. And yeah, he's just a really cool figure. I definitely like the glove here on the bazooka or rocket launcher, whatever you want to call it. I like all the gear and stuff that he has on. And yeah, this is just a really cool figure. It's very popular when it came out. A lot of people were buying it up and scalping it. You know, that kind of sucks. But since then, the price has gone down, and it's pretty affordable. There are a couple drawbacks on this. This body mold is good, but it's not my favorite body mold at this point, only because we've seen it so many times. But it's still decent. And also, the other thing I'm not crazy about is the guns. They're not painted very well. They're just molded plastic. But overall, this is a really good starting off point if you're into Deadpool. For the most part, you could just jump online and get this for not too much above retail, I don't think anyways. I feel like this figure is pretty easy to get at this point. I've seen it in stores a couple times. I might be wrong. Maybe it's more difficult for people out there, but like I said, maybe I've gotten lucky because I've seen them around. So hopefully people that want this one could go out there and pick it up, and he's a good place to start for Deadpool figures. And next on the list is the Revoltech Deadpool, and this is by far the most posable Deadpool figure you'll ever find. And he's a really interesting figure to pose and play with, but it's a little difficult, especially if you're not used to the Revoltech joints, so you got to kind of get used to that when you're messing with him. But he's a really fun figure to have, and I think that he does a really good job of embracing the goofiness of Deadpool and the more serious look, because you could change out his eyes to give him all kinds of different facial expressions, and in those eyes it includes like a pair of like eyes with hearts on them, so that's really cool, and that screams Deadpool to me. But then, you know, if you don't like that goofy stuff, you toss it to the side, and then you have your nice mercenary with the swords. And yeah, like I said, it's really difficult to pose and play with, but it just takes a little patience. It's kind of like doing a puzzle or something to get him into like good poses. It just takes some patience. You got to be careful because there's a lot of gaps in the figure, as you could see here. Revoltech is notorious for this kind of stuff, but it's just the way the joints are set up because they want to give like the maximum amount of articulation. And I think that it does that successfully, but again, it just takes a little bit of patience to pose him, and he's always fun to mess with. I really don't take too many pictures of him because it's kind of a hassle, and I just don't have the patience to do it. But I do enjoy pulling him off the shelf and just messing with them because he's just really fun and interesting, you know. But yeah, he's a really interesting figure, and you could still get him for pretty much the retail cost. I think it was about $90. I saw it on Amazon for, and you know, that's not horrible, but you just got to know what you're getting into with this guy. I'd suggest checking out as many reviews as you can. I reviewed him on my channel, and a bunch of other guys have reviewed him, and you know, you could definitely get a good look at him before you purchase him, because this one could be potentially disappointing if you don't know what you're getting into. But if you're down for the Revoltech stuff and you love Deadpool, then this is an awesome figure. It's pretty much everything you'd expect from them. So, and for number 3 on the list, I have the Marvel Legends Toy Biz Series 6 Deadpool. And I know that this is a really strange choice because this figure doesn't necessarily hold up, but he holds a special place in my heart, and I just love this figure. Back in the day when he came out, I remember calling a bunch of comic book stores looking for him because I knew that I wouldn't find him in stores, or like, you know, I wouldn't find him at Walmart or whatever. So I called a bunch of comic book stores. I found a spot locally that had it. They charged $40 for it, and I remember at the time thinking like, dang, $40, that's like way too much to spend on a figure. And because at the time the figures were only like $10.99 in the store or whatever. But yeah, I bought it. I kept it in the package for a couple days. I was like, yeah, I'm never gonna open this thing. And you know, I lasted about it, you know, maybe 2 days, 2.5 days, and then I ripped it open, and I never looked back. You know, I'm happy that I did. For the longest time, this figure was my favorite figure, my favorite Marvel Legends figure. And like I said, he just holds a special place in my heart. I know that he's not the best figure. He looks kind of weird weird. He's definitely outdated, but when he came out, he was awesome. And for a minute, he was like the centerpiece of my collection. You know, I had him like, I always had other figures posed based around him, you know, like I remember having him beating up the old school Daredevil that came out with the Spider-Man Classics wave and all that cool stuff. I was all excited when Deathlock came out, so I had another gun kind of guy to hang out with Deadpool and have shootout scenes and just all kinds of stuff. I was just really into this figure when he came out. And for the longest time, this was the only Marvel Legends Deadpool figure you could get. And then eventually they came out with the Marvel Legends 2-pack one that came along with Warpath. And that one was garbage. I do have that one, but it's packed away. I never opened it. I'm not really into it. It's not a very good figure. But yeah, this Deadpool was awesome. He was the king of the Deadpool figures for a long time for me, up until very recently, actually. And he also came with the unmasked Wade Wilson head, so that was really cool at the time. And he also came with Dupe from X-Static, which is crazy to me, but that was really cool. And yeah, he's just an awesome figure. And if you know, to me, if you're like a hardcore Deadpool guy, I think that this is definitely a figure that you should have in your collection, because I don't know, he's just important to me as far as Deadpool figures and Marvel Legends figures. But yeah, that's that, the Marvel Legends Toy Biz Series 6 Deadpool. And also, one more thing, this figure did get crazy expensive for a while, but you could buy him now for like a reasonable price. I don't think it's too expensive. Since he's come out, like knockoffs have been made and other Deadpools have been made, and now other companies are doing Deadpool, so his price has gone down a bit. So you could definitely pick him up if you like. So next on the list we have the Mezco Classic Deadpool, and this figure is amazing. It's like a piece of art. It looks very cool, but I could definitely understand how people would be hesitant to pick up a figure like this. This is a very like stylized kind of thing, you know, like the Mezco style, which is very popular right now. But yeah, this is probably something I'd hesitate to suggest to somebody just getting into action figures. But if you're already into action figures and you want something cool and new in your Deadpool, this is definitely a good way to go. He's a really fun figure. He has a bunch of accessories. He comes with some multiple heads. And also there's, you know, several different versions that they put out. They have the X-Force version and the X-Men version. And yeah, just overall, it's a really high quality, nice figure. And this is probably, like, in terms of quality, like the best Deadpool figure that you'll find. He's a little limited in articulation, and the fact that he's expensive and like really well made kind of makes people hesitant, or it makes myself hesitant to like pose him and play with them and leave him in certain poses too long. But just having him on the shelf, even just like in a vanilla pose, he's just an awesome, really impressive looking figure. You guys out there know how much of a fan I am of Mezco stuff, so this figure is just amazing. And I like the fact that there's different versions. So if you know, like myself, I like the X-Force version a little bit better than this one, but yeah, you know, you have your choice there. But if you just want like a classic Deadpool or a classic influenced red Deadpool, this is the one to go. This one is awesome, and I'm sure that if you pick this guy up, then you know he'll stand out on your Deadpool shelf. So last but not least, we have the Marvel Legends Deadpool from the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure wave. And honestly, I love this figure. I almost want to say that this is my favorite Deadpool figure. No way am I going to say that he's like a better quality figure than the Mezco one, obviously. But just for like the amount of satisfaction that I got out of this figure is just, it just puts him at the top for me. I'm always messing with it and playing with it. And it's not necessarily like, you know, super new. This is a body that we've seen before. It's the same body on the Marvel Legends Spider-Man 2099. It's the same body that we saw in the Sunfire figure, but it just worked really good for Deadpool for me. You could get him in all kinds of really cool like sword swinging poses and just all kinds of stuff. I love the shoulder joint here, but just the little things they added onto him just went a long way. Like you have the little things here on the wrist, on the ankles, and then on his neck, and then you got his harness. The only big flaw with this figure is the fact that he came with pretty much zero accessories. The only thing he came with is these katanas. He didn't even come with a Build-A-Figure piece, so I think they definitely dropped the ball there. But if you have a couple extra weapons and things hanging around from other action figures, you could definitely add it to Deadpool and, you know, have a good time with it. But yeah, I really, really love this figure. Like I said, I'm always messing with it. I constantly have it out. I haven't even put it like on a shelf to like display it anywhere yet, because I'm just constantly messing with it. I always have it like, you know, on my like nightstand so I can reach over and grab it, or always have it handy. I take it with me places because he's a simple figure, and this is probably the one that I would suggest the most because you could just go out and buy it pretty much right now. He's not very hard to get. You could probably get it for $20 or maybe even less than $20 if you want to jump on eBay and look for a loose one. Actually, I bought this less than $20. I found it at Toys R Us on sale. So, and this figure's look is pulled right out out of the early appearances of Deadpool in the 90s, when he was pretty much just a mercenary and like a villain to Cable and X-Force. And what made this figure extra special is it came out in the Sasquatch wave that also included Cable and Domino. So it was just like a whole early 90s X-Force feel to the whole deal. So it was very exciting when this guy came out. He's definitely the best Marvel Legends Deadpool figure, and this is the one that kind of dethroned the Series 6 version for me. For the longest time, he was my favorite, but now this one is my favorite. And like I said, I would never say that this is a better figure than the Mezco. They're obviously two different worlds. The Mezco stuff is like a high quality, like a high quality, like collector based action figure line, and this one is just a cool figure to have, to pose and play with. You could let a little kid play with this without worrying about it breaking or anything like that. It's just an awesome Marvel Legends figure, and yeah, I'm just extremely happy with this one, and I'm probably gonna take him with me when I go watch the Deadpool 2 movie. So yeah, he's awesome. So that's it. That's my 5 Deadpool figures that I think are essential for your collection. And right now, there's a bunch of cool stuff going on with Deadpool. There's some other Marvel Legends Deadpool figures out there, but I just wanted to stick to the classic influenced ones. So that's where I was at with this. If there's other Deadpool figures that you guys like better, let me know in the comments. And also, just an honorable mention, I don't own the figure, but I know that it's a quality figure. It looks awesome, and I've heard a lot of good things, is the Figma Deadpool. I just don't own it because it was a little too expensive for me, and I've never had the chance to pick it up at a good price. But that's a really cool looking figure, so hopefully one day I track it down. Also, there's a lot of other Deadpool figures that are coming out really soon. Marvel Legends is about to do another wave of Deadpool figures. I think Revoltech is going to put out an X-Force version of their figures, so there's going to be a lot of cool options for Deadpool figures out there. So maybe my list will change. Probably not, because I'm pretty set on all these figures, but yeah, it's a lot of good stuff. So hopefully this helped you out if you're a Deadpool fan, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and thank you very much. Peace.
That's crispy.